I fancy having a go at doing a pano, but as exposure bracketed. So exposure bracketed pano. Greetings all, and yes, no B-roll this morning, straight into it because, let's face it, I didn't leave the house till about 5 to 6 and sunrise was 6:15, so yeah, a bit of a run down there. I think, well, if I have to stop to do a bit of B-roll stuff and be walking past the camera and stuff, I was going to probably miss it, so skipped it and just got straight here. Oh dear. So yeah, we're going to chat while I'm getting set up as well, because we one of the things that I wanted to do, which I actually did one the other week, which was doing a pano but exposure bracketed. So I'll come to this specific place because it's perfect for doing this sort of thing, and I must have done this about 4 or 5 times this year so far from this specific location, but it's ideal for doing this sort of thing, to bring the colours and contrast and everything on the on this bit of a pier. So it's going to be real long sort of a pano. So because normally when you get to the pier coming in from your left and your right, leading you into sunrise and colours and stuff like this, but this one I want to go a little bit further this time, and I want to try and get more of the sea on the left and the right. So you do it as a pano and see how it turns out. So how have we actually done this one? Well, I've actually taken I think it was 7 going across, moved up slightly and then gone 7 going back, which has given me a lot of room to do that final crop. And that's pretty much it really for this one. I'm not going to do an all-in-one, so the editing for this probably going to do separately as a separate vid, but I don't really need to explain the composition too much for this one, because it's like I said, you know, I've done this one quite a few times where, you know, you're straight down the middle of the pier, and then you've got obviously the railings of the side, but I want to go a bit more extreme and make it a bit more wide. Yeah, I do like doing this one, really do like doing this one, and it's sometimes good to try and come up with new ideas for the same location, and it's an ideal place really, because it's quite a simple composition, and the sky could change so much, especially in that background where the sun is starting to give some real interesting orange colours over that horizon. Yeah, it's just a magical one to do. I just know you've got a couple of swimmers over there as well in the sea. Must be mad. Yeah, you certainly wouldn't catch me out there. Not this time of the morning anyway. Just out of curiosity in this one, I've done 2 here. I've got to show you. Tell me which one you prefer, because what I've basically done on this is it's the same sort of composition, but I've just put the horizon in 2 different places. So I put the horizon on the lower third, and I've also put the horizon on the top third. Yeah, see which one you fancy. And now that sun is really starting to rise. I've done the one I wanted of the pano, which was more of the blue hour with The orange is just starting to appear on that horizon, but now we'll actually get that sun up that a little bit more, so it's a bit more brighter. It means I could drop down the ISO a bit. We're around about 200 at the moment, whereas when I did the Pano, that was around about the 400 mark on the ISO. Because remember, don't be frightened of using the ISO. And if you need to increase it, do increase it, but just know your camera's limitations when using the ISO. On the DSLR and the Canon here, I try not to go above 6400. Really try not to go above that. For me, the spot where I start to go ooh is around about 3200. But on the M50, I've yet to put that one through its paces to see what it can do. And the thing as well is at the moment is, don't really worry too much about noise, because I've done a tutorial on that one as well of how powerful the AI in Lightroom is of removing the noise. It is phenomenal. I'll leave a link for that one above as well. And one other thing as well, which is something that you need to consider when you're actually out there, is the exposure, because you automatically think that you've got to get exposure dead on the zero, but sometimes you don't. And it's like this one is I'm actually slightly overexposing, probably by about 1 or 2 stops, not by much. And the reason being is because it depends on how your camera is actually telling you what's right. Because if you're like on this one, if you're moving the horizon to top or the lower, the exposure changes a lot. So it's telling you that the light balance is very unbalanced, which is where the back of your camera, where you're looking at it on your little screen, comes really handy, because you can look at it and go, I think that's a little bit dark. So on a few of the ones that I've actually taken, I'm actually overexposed, just to bring a bit more of the colour that's there, and so that I can actually lift a bit of detail from the foreground, which is the pier. Anyway, this is going to be there. So I've took quite a fair few here. And I mean, I've took quite a fair few because obviously the sun's rising and it changes quite a bit. So I took quite a few. I'll have a look at my favourite ones, and then I'm going to edit these a little bit separately on a separate video. And if I've done it, you'll see a link above or below. If not, you'll have to wait, sorry. So that's it for this one. 2 minutes time. Take care. Stay safe. I'll see you soon.